Okay, so I've noticed something over the years, right? I'm 52 years old right now. And over the years, I've noticed that we all desire or want. Now, I feel like it's a fleshly desire, a desire that's of the flesh, right? Not of the spirit, not of the soul. And the reason why I say that is because we all desire, or maybe it's just me, a safe place for our demons. Meaning, we want to be able to talk to someone about how bad we feel, right? We want to be able to talk to someone and be completely transparent without being judged or harmed in any way. We want a safe place to release our demons, right? And for a lot of us being transparent means that not only do the angels come out to play, but so do our demons, right? And so that, for me, redefined safe place. It redefined my perspective when it comes to transparency, right? So transparency is not for everyone, right? To be transparent means 100%. This is who I am. That's too much, okay? I am too much, and to add someone else's transparency to mine is too much. This is why a lot of relationships are strained. We go into relationships to be happy, to have peace, to be in harmony. But a lot of us, for the most part, don't get that in relationships. And so people like me, choose to not be in relationships and would rather choose peace and loneliness over being in a relationship and dealing with chaos, right? Choose your demon, right? Choose the lesser demon. And some people would rather be in relationships, and cope with the chaos rather than be alone. But if we can all just learn these lessons that we came here to learn, right? There is no safe place for your demons. And if we compare our demons to how when we have to, I'm trying to word this, how when we have to, do a number two, right? For some of us, we feel like it's okay to do a number two with somebody else in the bathroom. And I think that's too much. You don't need to be that transparent, okay? You don't need to share everything with someone else. But some people get turned on by it. Some people like it. Some people, and so at the end of the day, we're still going to make our choices, but we're going to make informed choices. Okay? And so if you know that there's no safe place for you to be completely transparent, but you are the only safe place that you can be completely transparent. You are the only safe place for your angels and your demons, because guess what? If you let your angels come out to play in a place where your enemies are, enemies that you don't know about, in a place where people are sharpening their swords against you when you are praying for their well-being, then your angels become their demons. And so there's so many layers, like an onion, right? So many layers to wisdom and what's going on and why we came here and the lessons that we learned. It's never ending. So I just make this point under one law, but there are many laws. And so, of course, I don't know everything, but what I do know, we don't need to nullify. We don't need to act like it don't make sense. We can take it as added increase, right? We can take it as, okay, we can acknowledge it. Doesn't mean that it falls under every law in the universe. So there's many, many variables. And so I just wanted to share my wisdom, my little 2 cents. That's what our wisdom is, a little 2 cents. But people act like their wisdom is the world and everybody must go by what they say, what they think, how they perceive God, you know, their interpretation of God and all types of stuff. That's how the Bible came along with us, you know, taking the Bible as God, right? And allowing it to govern us or rule us, and just totally giving up our ability, our ability to govern ourselves, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit in the Bible in Galatians 22, self-control, right? You give up your self-control because you allow someone else's perception of God, someone else's experience to govern you. And this is why we get headaches, because it is our own Ori that needs to be governing us. And when we do not please our Ori, when our feet is not walking with our Ori, but it's walking in the feet of Jesus or any other man, Buddha, or anybody else, it's disconnected from our own Ori, disconnected from our own destiny, disconnected from our own walk and experience, disconnected from the ability to self-control. Then that's when we, you know, we feel separated. We feel separate from ourselves and we feel lost, right? We feel lost. What is that song about how God found you and I'm lost? I don't know. But anyway, we feel lost and we're looking for somebody else to find us. And what we really need to do is find our feet, that we're allowed to walk in somebody else's shoes and perception and ideas, and reconnected with our destiny, with our head, with our Ori, with our ability to self-control, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit mentioned in the Bible. And see, that's why I still love the Bible, because I just love it differently, because I allow the Bible to be, or the words in the Bible to be in harmony with my feet and my Ori. I don't allow anybody else's perception, or what do you call it, interpretation, or even translation of the Bible, because there's many translations out there. King James is, it seem like, you know, the most holiest one. But I allow these translations and these perceptions to work together with me and work together with all things, governing me as my own Ori, my own head, working all things together for my good. And so that takes practice. You know, I know how I talk. I talk like I got it all together, and people be looking at me like, whoa, wait a minute. I thought you had it all together. All this wisdom you be spitting and all this shit you be talking and all this stuff. And I think about that and I'm like, I do talk a good game, don't I? I do talk a good game. But you know what? I'm proud of who I am and how far I have come. I'm proud of the acknowledgement that my ability to heed to the wisdom that my Ori downloads into my mind, right? Like the mind is the computer, but whatever's downloaded into the computer, that's what we do, right? It's the mind. It's our Ori, or our higher self, our spirit self, our heavenly self, our self that is God having a human experience, it downloads things into our computer, into our mind. And I pay attention to these downloads so that I can become better. Not better for people to look at me and say, oh, according to my definition of better, she ain't, she is, right? Not that kind of better. But I rejoice if I'm not listening to other people and their perception of what good is, what prosperity is, what abundance is, what better is. I can be like in my own paradise inside. Like I can rejoice in how far I have come and how much peace and harmony within me that I have obtained just by allowing my downloads to permeate, just by paying attention to my downloads and not thinking that these downloads are God to me and everybody else, but just understanding them, understanding them, and overstanding them, and using my discernment so that I know when and how to understand, when and how to understand, and when and how to overstand the wisdom that's downloaded into my mind. And learning how to apply it to my life is practice. And if you see me in the process of practicing, you know, if you see anybody in the process of practicing, don't just assume that they think they got it together. They're just happy that they get to practice something so wonderful, that they get to practice and put to work and find the glitches in how they're applying the download into their mind, into their lives. So anyway, what was the title of this message? I go off. I be meaning to do like one little message and then I go off. So give me 500 and I'll take the spotlight, right? I just give me an inch and I'll take a mile. And so anyway, the only safe place for your demons, for you to be completely transparent, is you. Is you. So really think about what room you're going into when you connect with people. Read the room and know how much of yourself that you can bring into that room without hurting you, without hurting them, and without causing their demons or their angels to become your demons, right? To affect you negatively. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, right? If you feel my vibe and you think you're part of my tribe, then feel free to subscribe. And I bless and give thanks for all of my prescribers to all of my subscribers. And I give thanks and bless, right, all of those who are going to subscribe just because you're feeling my vibe, child, okay? The vibe of Omnikey's, the Oracle, period. Peace.